Hey guys, Julie MacDonald here. So I am making this video today to talk to you about an exciting new opportunity that's coming up very soon to study with me. Many of you have been asking, some of you that have been in my classes have asked me to do more online training, and although for a while I avoided it because I do prefer working in person with you. I can't be in all places at all times. So with that in mind, and combined with my recent experience in the last 2 years having a mentoring program for people who were professionals in the field or looking to become professionals, there are many of you that are saying, well, I'm not really sure if I want to be a professional, or I want to learn more skills first. So exciting new opportunity coming up very soon, and that's going to include a program that's designed to help to train you in not only some of the basic techniques of psychic development or mediumship unfoldment, but is also very closely aligned in terms of a spiritual practice, right? And in terms of taking our basic information that we might learn or use. I mean, look, you can go to Google, right, and look up how do I become a psychic, and you can find articles and you can read books and you can do all that. And I certainly recommend there's a lot of good material out there. One of the things that I've noticed in the work that I do is there is a line that separates people from those who've learned basic techniques and those who are actively working with and evolving in their practice and in their advancing their abilities by being very diligent in their relationships with spirit. Another thing that many of you have heard me talk about a lot is the tendency that we sometimes have to want to learn everything, right? So we'll go and we'll take this class and that class, and we'll take a weekend class for that, and then we'll learn shamanism in a day, and we'll learn and all of that. And it's good to learn, all of these things connect, right? There's a strand that connects all of these practices. But as someone who has worked in many different realms and through many different traditions, and I draw on all of those. One thing I decided many years ago was that the only thing that I really wanted to become well versed in, or not even versed as much as well skilled in, is I realized that as I become more well skilled and connected in my relationship with the other realms, and that gives me access, not just into the other realms, but it opens up doors here on the earthen plane. That's helped me have the opportunity to be exposed to and to work with many people from many different traditions. But I think it's also important to honor those traditions, right? And to honor some of that in a way of not just trying to co-opt it or take over this tradition and then get rich off of it or anything like that. So there is richness in all of these different traditions. And so one of the things that I want to be able to do is to offer you some information, both in the way that I work within accessing some of those realms, but equally as important is having some access to people who specifically do that. So in this program, you will have access to weekly videos from me that will be comprised of training, so a specific lesson, if you will, for lack of a better word, examples, exercises, and time allotting. There will be some times when we'll do guided meditation, things to bring you into these skills, but there'll also be other times when I may be demonstrating some of those skills. There'll be suggestive tips on how you can practice the skills, but there also will be guest lecturers and teachers that I will have in this program to teach you more specifically from some of their modalities, whether it's angel readings or connecting with your angels or the archangels, tarot readings, numerology, the basics of a lot of those types of things. Because I think it's important to, one of the things that I know for myself is that in having access to some of that information actually allows spirit to communicate more broadly with us. In other words, for instance, I am not a tarot card reader. You could lay out a tarot card spread in front of me and I would say, yeah, I don't know what that card means, right? But as an intuitive, I might look at it and just intuit based on what the symbology means to me. Interestingly enough, spirit will often work with me because I've been exposed to people that do this, right? Spirit will sometimes work with me and show me a tarot card. You know, like, oh, I see the tower. So even though I don't read cards, this is what that means. So it's kind of like learning another language, right? So as we learn new languages, our ability to communicate with not only spirit, but with the person before us expands. And again, because not everybody seated before us speaks the same language in terms of this spiritual work, or even the way that their brain works, or they understand, nor do all of their guides or all of their ancestors speak or communicate in the same way. So this is one of the secrets, guys, to going beyond delivering, just a short, snippet, as some people say, of a message, right? Now, nothing wrong with doing that. But if you want to kick it up a notch, not only for others in case you decide to do this work, but for yourself and learning how to maneuver through your life in being able to access these different realms for your best life, not necessarily for our own selfish gain or what have you, then I think that this program is going to give you that opportunity to learn these different languages. We're going to give you different tools to be able to use to access more data, more information, more insight, and also help you to cultivate within yourself, you as the tool of divination. So we're going to help you to cultivate that connection more and to begin to understand your symbology more and to understand that that changes too. So the idea that, we just go take a quick class, I mean, yes, it's going to give us some access. And I'm someone that did take trainings over 2 decades ago. And I took a pretty comprehensive training. And over, 4 seasons, 4 years, it wasn't a full year, but 4 years of that, and then other complementary trainings to help, sort of fill that in, and healing and all these different things. So I'm very interested and excited to bring all of this together, not only through me and spirit, but also through some people that I really trust and I really admire in the field today. There's a lot of us out there that are doing really amazing, good work. We may not be the big names, but you don't need a big name. You just need a big container, right? And a big vision and an open heart and an open mind. And the other part of the trainings that I do, and many of you have taken them before know this, is that we also work on plowing through the junk that's in the way, right? So we've got the weekly video classes, right? There'll be a monthly newsletter that goes out, sometimes more often. There'll be articles in there that I either am sharing with you from others or that I am writing to you. There'll be recommended reading, recommended listening. There'll be another meditation in there as well. And once a month, there'll also be a group conference video chat where you can bring your questions with stuff you've been working on over the month, and we'll also be applying some of those lessons and practicing with other live people so that are there that are also engaged in the classes. So it makes for building a nice community as well. The other thing is there'll be access to a Facebook group that is private for you all to share your experiences, get feedback not only from me, but from other people in the program, because there'll be some people in there that have gone before you, and there'll be others just coming up behind you. So it's always good to have all of these different levels of experience. And of course, everyone's bringing their own religious or spiritual or cultural background to it as well. So again, that helps us not only to expand our understanding of spirit, but it also helps us to understand and expand our understanding of people, and to gain a greater compassion and respect for other people, other traditions, other practices. Because very often, even in the spiritual field, we see that division, right? So we're looking to bring people together through this. There'll also be another component that you can decide to participate in or not. So you can sort of have the classes and all of that stuff on one hand here, right? You could just sort of take that little and say, yeah, I want to do those classes. Or you could also wrap it in with a piece of what I've been doing in my mentoring program, which is having once a month, having an individual session with me as well, to bring up maybe some of the personal stuff that you're finding is coming up for you. Now, this is not therapy. Although I've worked in therapy, I'm not going to try to be your therapist, but I am going to be your guide and your mentor in terms of helping you walk through and work through those things so that you can, again, carve out a deeper place in you for more room for spirit to work through. And then also that if you have certain goals that you want to get to, there'll be more practicing that we do. If you are doing some other work, you might make your own video and have me send it to me and I'll assess it. So there's a couple of different packages and ways that you can do this. I am going to be rolling it out on my website very, very soon. In the meantime, if you have questions, you can feel free to email me, info@mediumjuliemacdonald.com. You can message me on Facebook at Medium Julie MacDonald. And you can also always give me a call, 518-210-1665. And just leave me a message. I don't generally answer my phone except for appointments that are already booked. So very often I am working when people call me. So just leave your name, what you're calling about, and a good time to reach you, a couple of options for a good time to reach you. So again, there will be more information coming about that soon, but I did want to let you know because I'm very excited about it. And I hope that you are too. So I hope that you'll join me in this and others in this wonderful exploration of spirit and ourselves, and learning better how to commune with spirit, how to feed the relationship with spirit so that it's not just one way. So often, we've been taught a lot too in our religious practices, right? We pray for what we want, or we pray for this, or we pray for that. We're asking. And a lot of times in this work, we're constantly asking, right? Like, okay, spirit, this person needs to know this. What do you want to tell me about it? What can you tell me about it? Blah, blah, blah. And we're just always pulling. Well, how do we feed that back, right? Where's the reciprocity for that? So we'll learn how to work with your guides, the angelic realms, your ancestors, nature spirits, all sorts of beings and places and realms and all sorts of things. So again, I hope that you will ask me more about it, and I hope to see you guys soon. Ciao.